It's the weekend. It's mailbag. It's the weekend before Christmas, so it's a very festive mailbag this week. I'm joined by Dave and Pete. Before we get into the football out and before we get into the festivities, I have a very serious question from a Mr. Keith Azul. I have a question for you all. If you'd be so kind to answer, should any of us be worried?
About the
I'm
question he's put in.
terrified.
Yeah.
The question he's put in. I've got the button ready here to click leave on the group.
I don't think I need to be worried. I don't think I do.
No, because you're only asking the question. That's why.
The real question we need to be asking is, Dave, do you get horny over wrapping paper, mate?
I've still got loads of mine to do, mate. I've only started it the other day, so that's why I'm feeling quite chip in the today's. We're doing this in the morning, aren't we? That's why I feel quite bright.
I've got a little bit more to do later, so I'll send you some more pictures if you want. Right.
Is it you? Is it you looking like a Russian in the wrapping paper?
It could be. I'll go full Yelovich, even though he wasn't.
Yeah, mate. Change semi on to full hard on with that.
Oh,
Right.
God.
We'll move on quickly. Football one, Michael, and it's very pertinent to what happened last week, but we won't really go into that. What is your penalty run up and spot to shoot at? So do you take when you take a penalty, you take the spotting of the ball seriously. I do, and I try to tell all my lads to don't just
Yeah.
chuck it down, spot it,
Yeah.
look at the keeper, and I hit mine to the right, sort of as high as I can get it,
Right of the keeper or to your right?
to my right,
So you'd have the keeper diving left.
hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
When you haven't put it near the corner flag.
The one penalty I've taken in a shootout, though, it was up. If anyone, you probably don't know playing yards, but it's like a big playing field out by Bromborough, and basically it's either like the Somme or the Sahara. There's no in between. And on this day, it was towards the end of the season in a cup game, and it was like just all rutted and dusty as fuck. I was running up to take this penalty and was caught in about 6 mines and just kicked the floor and the ball. Big like cloud of dust kicked up and the ball just chipped into the keeper's hands.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And,
mean,
like it
well,
was.
that's it.
It
I think
still
that's
wasn't as
the
bad as
problem.
Onana's, but it was bad.
That's the problem, certainly in amateur football. You do have to make sure the ball's in decent position on the spot. Because most places you play, amateur places, as long as it's not like in the 5-side places with the sort of not the real grass, it's easy then, isn't it? Because you've got a nice turf to hit it off wherever you are on the pitch. But when you're playing in the grass, and particularly in the summer when it goes like a rock, it's like a cricket pitch, isn't it? In most places.
And the spot's never in the middle of the goal either.
No, it's not, and it's always
One
kicked.
side.
Yeah, and it's always kicked up as well. It is always kicked up, and then if it's raining like it is today, it's soaking wet. So you have to almost like put it on a tee, like if you're playing rugby or golf. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to take myself decent to the pen because I can strike one. People know this actually because we've played a lot of footy together. But with my method really is absolutely make sure it's in a decent position. I think you get a lot of hard people who think they're hard and just throw it down and think it's to do and nothing. Do you know what I mean? Then if they miss, they look like a bad dickhead. But yeah, I mean, I start going a little bit mentality in it, but then I learn to like just do it my own way. Mine is put it there. I reckon I take about 5-yard run up, and then I absolutely blast it into my left hand side, keeper's right hand side, which is risky. Because most keepers are right-handed. Like you said, yours is much more logical when you're looking at the keeper's left. But normally, I mean, I can hit the ball well, do you know what I mean? So I'll normally, if I blasted it hard enough, which I do, as long as it's gone in the direction of the whole goal, then mine, I'm like proper talking myself up here, but yeah, I scored a lot of penalties by hitting it really hard. That's basically it.
There's a lesson in that, definitely. Just twatting. Pete?
Yeah.
But mate, you know what? That's what I mean. So much chat about Onana this week. I think every show we've done, we've spoke about Onana, and how many times, like most people are saying, just fucking batter it, just hit it as hard as you can, because then, and I think this put this on my Twitter. Then when you've done that, I don't think. I think you've got every excuse then to miss it, because unless you put it in like row Z, but if you hit it and a keeper makes an amazing save, you can't. You can't be blamed for that.
Yeah.
If you hit the post, you sort of can't be blamed for that either. Having said that, you're 12 yards out from a massive thing you've got to hit. The way in which he's done it, though, makes it the absolute worst effort on a pen that you're ever going to see.
Yeah, the run up. I'm still shaking my head thinking about that run up.
Yeah,
but you know what?
The also thing it is, people banged on about the arrogance thing. You can't tell me when every player does it, that type of style, that it's not egotistical. There's no way, because even if they think, oh yeah, I'm hard, or I'm not good of a player, I can just tap it in, or do the little Panenka type of thing. Remember when John Stones did it when we were playing Juve in the States?
That was top level, to be fair, though.
Oh, it was. But you're in a friendly there. There are different circumstances in which you think, yeah, just got to go back to basics to the kid, yeah, because it doesn't even look like he'd done that much more. Because if he hits it that soft in either side of the corner and it's saved, then you've sort of got an excuse, a little excuse. But for him to roll it half a yard to the left of the keeper, where he could have dived the other way and got back to save it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. We're talking about ourselves.
Yeah. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I was going to say, so I've got like a bit of I always have like a couple of composure steps as I'm going up, do you know what I mean? But I don't bother looking at the keeper. I pick my spot in my head and that's where I'm going. The only sort of trick I'd say, it's probably a bit of an old school one, where if you're a goalkeeper and I'm about to take a penalty, whichever way my foot is facing just as I kick it, go the other way. Because it's so, do you know what I mean? Like, I'll open my body up complete, and I don't mean like, one of them where you like point at that corner and go, I'm going to hit it there, and then it goes that one. I mean, literally, as you swing your foot, like if I'm going to bottom left, my foot, as I'm literally about to kick it, will be facing bottom right, and then you screw it back the other way. Do you know what I mean?
Your ankle's going the other way.
You can wrap your foot right round it then and get loads of power on it, and also you got a chance of the keeper going the wrong way. But also, like a lot of the time, the keeper will commit as well. That's the thing about an honest thing. Sorry to go back to that. I'm not saying, I'm not being funny. I play. I've never played at a high level. Do you know what I mean? But what I would say is that just looking at the technique that he had, at no point did I think that he was going any other direction than the place he put it. Do you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, if you're going to do that type of penalty, like even like the staggered run-ups that you see, like Jorginho's probably the one who sort of set that standard. There's always like
before it makes me paranoid when they do that,
Yeah, well that's it. Well, we saw like Saka and Rashford do that silly run-up in the World Cup final, didn't we? Or the Euros, which was Euros final. Yeah, and Euros final, and that type of thing for me is just overcomplicating thing. As I say, I just pick my corner. The only slight thing I do is a little bit of gamesmanship in terms of trying to send the keeper the wrong way, which I think a lot of people do. But I say the Onana thing for me was that because I didn't quite understand what technique he was trying to use, because at no point did he try to disguise the fact that he was going exactly where he put it.
I mean, if he's doing
that, you know what? Sorry, Les, I was just going to say, when you said one of the things that you look at the keeper's eyes, you look and you give them the eyes type of thing. Personally, don't think I'm good enough to keep looking at him until I get like a second before hitting the ball. Do you know what I mean? I just put my head down towards the ball and batter it. It's the simple thing, because I think, what excuse am I going to have for missing that? I've mishit it like everybody, and then you can blame the floor, or you can make an outstanding save. That's pretty much all you can get people are going to make complaints about to you, is if you do that.
My first priority is definitely making sure to kick the ball.
Yeah, but that's it.
The other one I was going to throw in is just toe it. Just toe it.
Toe is very underrated.
Well, you can't hit. It is underrated getting toe in it, especially with the style of balls you used to get. You get decent footies these days. But those rocks you used to get playing for the school and all that, mate, it hurt to kick the ball. Yeah. So toe in it.
Keeps it low.
Toe in it, you can get this little nice top spin if you toe it.
Yeah, top spin, yeah.
Do you know what? I remember this, and I hate to bring this one up, but when the Shite won the Champions League, they had John Dahl Thomason playing for AC Milan. Obviously, I wouldn't imagine many people are going to look at it, but if you want to go and look at it, you can see what I mean. he just runs up and towies it right along the deck, loads of topspin on it, and just goes in the bottom corner, and he turns around, doesn't even celebrate. Just do that.
Ronaldinho against Chelsea wasn't a penalty, but the edge of the box, remember, he sort of like
stopped that was magic, that.
And then just towed it, and it was absolutely perfection. I loved it.
You know, when he does that, I think when that happened there, I remember that really, really vividly. When he did that against Chelsea, I was thinking, that looks like it's a massive, massive mistake from Petr Cech. But when he just does that with his knees, he just like does this little wiggle, doesn't he? And then it's just like people are standing in front of him waiting to see what he does next. And then just pings it with his left toe into the bottom corner. And all you ever hear the commentary saying is, that is absolute genius. And when I was a kid, I was looking at it thinking, no, the keeper should be saving that. But when he actually does it, you just think it's proper audacity to throw it in the corner like that.
Yeah. Bit of trivia next. So Burnley became the first team since Charlton Athletic in the second game of 1998-99 to start a PL match with players whose squad numbers are 1 to 11. Classic bit of dice in there. So TWS picked up on this and said, here's the team from Tuesday. Saw the first hint of the Dice master plan. My question is, how long do you think it will take for him to achieve his ultimate goal of our starting lineup wearing 1 to 11? So on Tuesday, we had 32, 27, and 37. They're the three numbers we need to get rid of before we can have
Garner's one of them. No one's getting rid of Garner, are they, 37?
So Garner needs to get a proper number. James Garner. Branthwaite needs to get a proper number. Guy's 27, so he's the other one.
Beto 14, no, surely doesn't count as well.
Starting
11.
Okay. Might be saying the same thing against Spurs, mate.
I reckon it's going to take him 2 more transfer windows.
Tell me them names again. Garner.
So there was Garner, and Branthwaite.
Branthwaite and James Garner will drop down into the first 11. Do you know what I mean?
That should be his summer, shouldn't it?
You think we can get to 1 to 11 this summer?
Could do. If Garner and Branthwaite drop down, that's if Branthwaite's still with us.
You meaning what the club give them?
So so when can
Dice? I thought you meant when you get off.
Oh no! How quickly can Dice get numbers 1 to 11?
Right. Okay.
But they definitely get lower squad numbers.
Well, Dice came in and sorted that nonsense out with Patterson, didn't he? With the number 3, he was like, "You're a right back. You're number 2. What do you play?" Oh, hate all that.
Yeah, it does my head in a lot. That
you wouldn't have had any of this nonsense with like Eto wearing number 5 with Dice.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it if you're watching Kez. If you're watching Kez, you wouldn't have it either back in the day, would you? No one knew what number it was over 1 to 11.
Was there?
A lot of people in our school couldn't count to 11.
When you think about it, like 80s, you had 1 sub. That was it.
Yeah.
So you did have your squad 1 to 11, and then it would always be like number 12 or 14 because no one wore 13.
13 was the reserve keeper.
Yeah, that was it. Mad, absolutely nuts. So yeah, I'm going to say he does that by summer. I reckon we have a good 1 to 11 by summer, and I'm here for it.
We're not going to get Harrison back because he's been shite. So what's that? 11? We'll have 11 in the bag, won't we?
Yeah.
I should have said that. I've been getting pelters about saying stuff like that about Harrison.
I'm dead undecided about him. You know, I think he
grafts. I think he's a championship player.
Yeah, he works his plums off, but I don't know. He just gives it.
Hasn't he got our most assists this season so far?
Has he?
I think us 3 have as well.
Yeah, like
Jesus. Well, there you go.
Got like 6 assists or something. I might have just completely made that up. I'm sure I read somewhere the other day that he's got like 5 or 6 assists. Might have just completely made that up.
Well, I don't know. It's feasible, I suppose, isn't it? But so Tuesday night, one of the best things about Tuesday was got to my seat, and who's sitting next to me? Foxy. Lovely surprise.
No way.
Yeah. Foxy was in the Park End, and he loved it because this question, now he said, as we all know, the Park End is the greatest type of end. It is. But what's his second favourite end? Lads, we've got a favourite end. I'm gonna go in clean and say the End clothing sale. So there's a clothes shop called End, and the sale's amazing. That's my favourite type of end. Setting the tone for you there, lads. You don't have to go where your brain takes you.
Your favourite type of what?
End.
Hang on, 1 sec. I've got some fella delivering some parcels. Just leave it there for us, mate, please. Thanks a lot. Cheers, mate. All the best.
Dave's least favourite type of end is the end of the wrapping paper, isn't
I was about to say that, yeah.
it?
I've just got a load of parcels there and started licking my lips of what I need to do later. My missus coming to the door, absolutely fuming.
Do you know my favorite
Best end,
my
best
favorite
end.
type of my favorite
Oh,
type of end? My favorite type of end is the end of a cornetto
Oh, it's good, isn't it? The little chocolate
because you've
bit.
got the
hang
little
on, hang on.
chocolate bit.
I thought you were talking about the end. What end of the pitch?
Not any end. What's your favourite end? Your second favourite
And
end? Oh,
the end
maybe
of
it was. I've read that all wrong.
Yeah. Was at first I thought when he said that, I think I made the mistake of thinking what part of the pitch, what part of the stands do you like the best? When he's talking about ends, yeah, that could be it could be a different question for all. It's quite ambiguous, isn't it? Ends of things, wow.
Oh, that's a shout.
It really is a shout, yeah. Oh no, I also think the end of a general 99er. Obviously, you've got your bit at the bottom, the little crispy bit at the bottom.
Yeah.
I always end up whipping that off before I've had the rest of it, so I can scoop up
Making
and make a little mini one, yeah.
little mini ice cream, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
That's something you never grow out of either, is it?
I know. Yeah, I think that's my end.
Also, my favorite type of end is the end of a really annoying phone call. You know those phone calls you can't get off, like without being horrible. You know, like it's
like when you like when you ring someone up, Dwight McNeil.
Yeah. But yeah, like you know, like and you know, like when you're trying to get out of the call, and people like don't quite take the hint of like you've got to go somewhere.
Yeah,
and it's like, and you're trying to be really, you're trying not to be rude, but at the same time, it's like you'll say, "Yeah, I'll see you soon," and they'll go, "Yeah, I'll see you," but anyway, and then they'll just carry on about something else, and it's like, oh, this is So that the end of that call. Does anyone else ever do the trick where you pretend that your battery's about to go on your phone?
You've done that a lot of times, Jordan. Shows you.
I always do it.
He always goes, "Oh, Dave, there's something wrong with this laptop. There's something wrong with this phone."
The battery's about to go.
Classic. But you know, I was going to say, ironically, Zoom. I can't stand Zoom, which is really funny because that's 99.9% of what we use for our audio. But I'm talking about ones at work because people seem to like. Initially, when it first come along during COVID, people used to like enjoy it and think, "Oh, this is amazing! This like new technology. I really need to use it all the time." You're like, "Listen, mate, you got a 5-minute conversation. If you give me 10, I'm just going to get going." Yeah, I think a lot of people still, us aside, really enjoy Zoom. Whenever I have one in Zoom, I like. Do you know what the irony is? I'd rather be there in person than have it on Zoom. Probably same as this, to be fair, but in work capacities, I'd be like, you can just say to them in person that you're busy or you've got something to do. On Zoom, you've literally just got to stay logged in until they close it.
In work, just stick it in an email.
Yeah.
It's always the one for me. Though.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I'd rather write shit to people and tell them about it.
Yeah. One from John now. Which fan base could our fan base win easiest against in an en masse arm wrestling competition?
Arm wrestle, well, Fulham, surely to God. Gang of
absolute... Yeah, that was my first thought as well.
Do you know what I mean?
You see all of the like a few of their fans on Twitter doing these videos and all that, saying that like, yeah, proper bad that.
I saw that.
Like saying to them, "We're happy Tories" and all this stuff.
Yeah,
proper weird that.
I think the one who done it was the one who said something on the train, wasn't it? But
with the Prosecco.
Yeah, but I think he's like their and I mean this respectfully, before he starts. I think he's like their really shit version of Azul, of Keith Azul.
Oh, is he their piss boiler?
Yeah, he's their piss boiler.
And yeah, I'm with Fulham on this, to be honest. Could batter Fulham in an arm wrestling competition.
Definitely.
Straight into the cheese board, bang, have that.
Well, that's it. They're just having like eating quinoa and like having prosecco and that, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're growing up on a diet of quinoa and prosecco. They're not going to have any upper body strength at all.
They're not going to be able to beat us in an arm wrestle. Not a chance.
No,
not a chance.
I'm going Crystal Palace, mate. Well, the only reason why is Crystal Palace have got them ultras, haven't they? which is actually, to be fair, really good for modern football if you're able to get your crowd doing that sort of thing. So, but I don't reckon they're hard. I reckon that's blag.
Yeah.
As in, like, oh, Charles, let's go through the match with a flag and sing. Do you know, something like that? I don't know what I've just said there.
Charles.
Charles,
Charles was the
can you go to can you go get me the telephone, the Daily Mail, please, and we can go to the match with a nice new flag and
Don't forget the drum.
Singing with the
Don't
rest
forget
of
the
the
drums.
See, do you know the only thing worse than that is the Arsenal one. That's definitely full of talk.
It's very forced, isn't it? Very forced. That
horrible.
Yeah, I think. Well, there are rivals, aren't they, in the trophy we're trying to win with the best team podcasts. I think one of those Arsenal guys are our challenge in that. So yeah, I've plugged that in. Make sure you go and vote for us.
Yeah, we need to start mentioning that at the start of every show.
Yeah, we do. And telling people it actually works now to click the button.
Oh, that was a nightmare, that.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, by the way, yeah. So if anyone's listening and you did try and vote and it didn't work, it does now. So follow the new link and vote for it, please.
On your mobile, it'll work, by the way. That was the problem. You could only do it on a computer, but now you can do it on any.
If we don't win, it's because that button didn't work and it's all a fix and it's corrupt. So we'll basically, be having,
we'll be straight down the podcast awards HQ.
Yeah, HQ.
Tom Lester, what's your favourite humming noise?
Humming noise.
Yeah, I think for me, it's an airplane. So when you're on a plane, and especially if you're on like a night flight, and everyone's asleep and it's dead quiet, and it's just that hum of the engine, which obviously for safety reasons you don't ever want to hear it stop. But yeah, that is lovely.
It's a really good point as to why you really like that noise as well, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I think that's mine. It's so nice, very calming.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of I would presume it means music as well. What song would you hum?
Could do.
So, what's the bloody one by I feel it in my fingers.
Love is all around. Wet.
Yeah. Happy to do that in a car.
Does anyone remember by the Crash Test Dummies?
Do it again.
Do that again.
You laid yourself in for that, didn't you?
The song was actually called Crash Test Dummies. Early 90s.
The Crash Test Dummies as in like the toys?
No, they're a band called the Crash Test Dummies.
Oh, are they?
Canadian band.
Remember the
early
toys,
90s. Well, yeah. I remember the toys, yeah.
Yeah. Quite scary, them.
Did they make money off that song? It's fucking... Imagine how, like... It's so genius to be able to... If they did make any money off just going...
Oh, no, there was words in that. That was the chorus.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was just the chorus. Song, right, of course, yeah. Of course it was. I'll look that up. Yeah. I'm trying to think of another hum.
I think Dave's Love Is All Around is mine now, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll go with Dave humming Love Is All Around, yeah. That's...
Tom O'Brien this time. What's everyone's go-to meal deal?
Ooh.
Mine's shit.
Go on.
I don't know why. I go for tuna butty, plain crisps and a smoothie. I mean, if that's not an extension of my personality, I don't know what is. But
I'm on prawn mayo sandwich, and Walker's Max barbecue. What are they called? Paprika.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Spot on. Yeah.
And just like an apple juice, something like that.
Pete?
Yeah. I'm in full agreement with the Paprika Max. It's the type of thing I'd never buy normally, but when it's in a meal deal, it's got to be done. You've got to try and
come as bigger packets as well, though, Pete, don't they? They come as bigger packets than obviously there's probably the same amount of chips. You're just getting add off, but it's just like it looks like a bigger packet.
Well, that's it. I always think with a meal deal, you've got to go for like sometimes there's like a little cheeky 3 sandwich one, like those big ones. Yeah. And every now and again, there's like a little bacony one, or like a chicken and bacon or something like that. They have like a little, and there's always 3 of them.
Little teaser.
Yeah, you've got to try and maximize it as well. Weirdly though, I actually quite like just a proper ice cold bottle of water. You know, like a freezing cold one, because you get in the meal deals, you get those big squeezy bottles as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
that's right. Yeah.
yeah, so
Do you know
I'd probably go for
when
one
are
of
you
them.
talking about though? Because mine, when I used to work in Screwfix, there was Boots around the corner.
Boots, yeah, Boots, yeah,
Boots, I don't know how much it is these days, but I think it was £3 when I went.
yeah.
Must be more now. Must be about a fiver these days, something
No,
like
I
that.
think it's only 350 or something.
Three
Really?
fifty. Yeah,
Kind
but
of
you get like a little
upgrade
rewards
to
card as well.
£5 version as well. Can you do that here? I've only ever seen it in London. You can upgrade to a £5 meal deal down there.
Fuck
Where you
off!
get,
I'm not having that.
honestly, I think it's still like 350, 375 for your standard one. Or you can upgrade to like a £5 meal deal, and you get stuff like little rice bowls and things like that instead. I know.
That is you a man who does that, Les.
I have been known to once or twice. Yeah. Hey, getting a scram
Upgrade,
for a fiver in London, bloody hell! Can't
upgrade
complain
on a
with that.
meal deal. Does that even make sense?
I was gonna say you can upgrade it again and get the caviar and all that.
It's
Gang, it's
it's
fast.
it's very Tory.
You know what though? There's no way you can get hold of that in a service station. No service station's paying that cheap.
Well,
No.
Dave, funny you should say that because Warren's asked, "What's your favourite service station?"
Yeah, I thought that might come along.
I don't actually have one. Keith Tomlin's your man for this. He's
Isn't
a
he?
service station.
Is that one that people refer to a lot? That is T-Bays, is it?
Yeah.
eBay's the one. That's what I was gonna say. That's
Is
the
that
one.
the
Is that
farm
the one
shop?
Like yeah, farm shop. Yeah, that's amazing. I go
Yeah.
there. Like when I go to Scotland, we always stop there, have a little, walk the dog in the lakes for like a little half an hour. And that is it's an actual lovely place to go. It's really nice. But you've got if you ever get a chance, go to T-Bay.
Has
Definitely.
anyone ever seen a straightener in a service station?
Like
Yeah.
people having
Loads.
Go ahead, Pete. Tell us. I was hoping so.
There was one I remember. Well, I remember one going down to United in the FA Cup semi-final under Martinez. It was, and it was just like it was quite bad. It was bad, like, but there was like a United coach turned up, and there was all Evertonians, but this United coach turned up, and they came off the coach like but proper bounced off, and you could tell there was like a few little angry heads on there.
Yeah,
and I think they turned up thinking, oh, there's all Evertonians, so we're gonna call, and basically like this young, it was quite bad, really. Well, it was very bad. This lad like just walked past a load of Blues, and on his way back to the coach, he basically just punched this fella. He was like must have been like in his 60s. Just punched him, like probably split his nose open. And then they all legged it onto the coach. But then what happened was all the Blues got onto it and basically just raided the coach and were like, wait, who did this? Get off. And they dragged him off. But even like the United fans, because everyone else on the coach absolutely like bricked it, because they were like, wow, what's going on here? And they were all saying, like basically saying, and the point was that he basically like broke the nose of some like old fella who was doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, the lad got dragged off the coach and didn't see what happened to him after
never seen again.
that.
You're just asking for services.
Just your best service station.
Because I nearly had a scrap yesterday, but I'll leave that for a different question. That wasn't in the service
5 minutes
station,
ago with that delivery driver.
mate. It's not far off that. It's not far off that, but I'll save that.
All right. I've just remembered there. Remember Bournemouth and that fella moving us on when we were doing post match.
Oh fucking hell! Yeah, do you remember that? Some fella fuming. I was ready to kick off on him.
We weren't even in the way. He was just trying to move us.
I know. And the thing is, the ironic thing about it was well, we went down in the car the first time, but when we went down in that little coach to Pete Sorter, which was like A-star, do you know, and it looks like in business class. It was literally like 5 minutes, like 5 feet outside in Bournemouth. There's the massive car park that goes right up to the first way in, didn't it? And we just weren't even near the fella, and he just come up and started talking in the middle of the pod. Saying to it, right, come on, boys, it's time to go. And you're like, mate, we're just sitting here in like, you've got about a 5,000 size fucking stadium, and we're just sitting here talking. What are we doing wrong? What's the problem? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was very odd.
I wouldn't mind if he was saying, look, I need to get off. It's time for me to go home. But the other parts of the ground were still finishing.
It was still shocking. Yeah, there was no reason to move us on. Like, Warren said nuts for this is a disgrace, by the way. Yeah, nuts for
Luxford.
shite.
Not
More
gone down that
travel-related
one.
questions. Sam, what's your favourite railway station?
You know me and trains, Les. I've got a phobia of getting on trains, so I hate all of them. Although Milan train station was dead nice. You know, when we
Okay.
went to watch Atalanta away, and we had to do like planes, trains, automobiles type thing. We were like went on this big mission, but Milan train station is like a work of art. It's like full on beautiful inside. It's really amazing. But if you ever go there, don't ever go to eat just outside the train station because they absolutely rip you off. It's
Okay.
ridiculous. Like it looks cheap enough on the menu, but if you order a drink, it's like there's your bill, €300.
Did you say
You know what I mean?
did you say Milan?
Milan, yeah.
Milan in Italy, obviously. Was Steve Walsh there?
Yeah, walking past
Must have been sitting around having a few scrans for himself and not even doing anything.
Little briefcase with one pair of undies in it.
Yeah. I think mine. I had a girlfriend for a few years in Manchester. She was Irish, which has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm saying. But anyway, she lived in a road called, you can probably check this out, but I'm sure this is the name of it, called Daisy Bank. Right? People are going to say you're just blagging this story, Dave, but go and look at that, please, just to confirm it. And I used
next
to get
Coronation Street.
I used to get off at Oxford. Is it Oxford Street or something? Oxford Road on the way
Oxford
to
Road in Manchester. Yeah, Oxford Road.
near Deansgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the one you go past Old Trafford on it, or like next to or under Old Trafford? But that can't be, can it? 'Cause that's the next one to Piccadilly, I think. But anyway, that one was like it feels like it's quite dangerous because when you get off, it's a really old-fashioned train station. So there's nothing on the floor that says don't step over this line and all that sort of thing. Remember getting off that when you walk down the stairs to it. It's like if you go down any time, like obviously in the winter, if you go down any time after 4 o'clock, you think you're in Batman or something. You're looking around thinking who's going to attack me here? Is Two-Face going to come out from over there and stuff like that? Like. So yeah, you'll see like where she lived. I don't remember it was that far away, but I never ever would walk there. I'd always get a taxi.
Fair enough. I think mine is one of the most useless train stations around here, Upton Station. So it's on the Welsh line, and the trains are like two carriages from like the 1950s, and they come about once every 3 hours. It's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
I've only ever used it like twice, and both times have been in the summer. And you go down, and honestly, you feel like you're back in the 70s for some reason because there's nothing there. There's just a railway line and like a platform to stand on, and that's it. There's no guards, as you said. There's nothing on the floor to say don't go near the tracks. There's nothing, and it's quite a serene place because no
Yeah,
one goes there.
serene.
It's weird because you just buy like the M53 motorway, but it's really tranquil. It's weird. It's that strange.
I did have one more, by the way, and it's one of my favourite brutal answers once again. So I went to King George V College in Southport. Family were buzzing and made it there 'cause it's a well-established college. Hated it and fucked it off after 2 weeks. But anyway, I got in the train, brutal to shut up, you. Brutal to Southport. What are you laughing at like that?
Really well established college. My family were dead proud, and then I fucked it off after 2 weeks. Oh, that's proper tickled me. That story.
Do you know when you go to college, you think, yeah, it's a bit of freedom now, but we still have to call the teachers Miss and Sir.
Oh,
So I
Shite
jibbed
that.
it off. Anyway, got on the got on the train at Bootle Station. Bootle Station through to Southport is about 40 minutes. But when we were kids, I'd say like you're just about to leave school, like 15, 16 years old. Take your face off this, please, because I can't stop being distracted at you laughing at me. Anyway, got to try and cut this short. You get on that, but you used to be able. What they used to do, the Southport Fair used to be half decent.
Yeah.
Because it had the big thing on it. There was like the the big one that's in Blackpool, there was a version of that called the Traumizer or Traumatizer, because it was sponsored by Tizer Drinks. Hey, and on Friday nights, most people from school would go there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, find a man or a woman or whatever. Find a boy or a girl, should I say, not a man or a woman at the age of 14, 15. But anyway, you go there and like it'd be boss. The atmosphere in there would be boss. You know what I mean? You'd just be going around. I think it was like a fiver to get in, to go on all the rides and all that. And then the last train to come back, I think, was about 11:15, I think, to get home. So a lot of people you had to run down to their train station in Southport as quick as you could. But as you can imagine, the last one going home was always heaving with people, and you'd always get like a few dickheads who were blagging that they were pissed and stuff like that, proper kicking off in it. And you'd see some heavy scraps between a few of the lads from different schools and all that sort of thing. And it was horrible to watch because you'd been having a decent night, you know what I mean? With your mates and that, you would be bladdered, but some of them would, thinking they were bladdered after having like half a can of fucking Carlin or something like that. And when you get off at Bootle, it'd feel like a relief. And not only that you'd love to be back in Bootle, but it'd feel like a relief. And do you know what, Les? You know what I'm going to say here, Les?
Go ahead.
You know what was not? Do you know what wasn't far away from that train station? It was
Say that
George
then.
Jerry's on the way home, mate, and it was a good night, but also quite scary on the way back.
Yeah. If it ends at a George Jerry's, it's a good night. One more train station thing for me. There's one in Vilnius in Lithuania that's got a massive Tony Soprano statue. Don't know why, but I want to go there to see
As you
that.
do.
Yeah. Hot topic. Worst place you've been stranded?
St. Helens. No offense to anyone from St. Helens, but there's a reason for this. I used to work there, and I think I've mentioned before about like Christmas nights out and stuff. And one year there was an actual like blizzard hit, and I was stuck. And like taxi drivers wouldn't take me down. So like my dad he lives sort of exactly way, so it's easy enough to get back if you just go straight down the Lancs. But because the snow was that bad, the taxi drivers were just refusing to go like to Liverpool, because obviously like they take me, that's the night over sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was literally like, I ended up having to, I went to the Park Hotel, didn't have any rooms left. I ended up having to get a suite. This is at like 2 a.m. I had to pay for, I literally had to, it was the only thing I could do. So I had to buy a suite. And I said to them, can I have a late checkout? And they were like, no. So I ended up paying like, I paid, fair whack, like,
well.
I was working on the solicitor at the time, so I had the dough, like, but it was a bit like, it was just before Christmas as well. So it was a bit like,
That's bad.
but that was a terrible place to get stuck. No offense to anyone in St. Helens, the circumstances made it terrible.
Yeah, that's grim. Was the suite nice though?
It was all right. It wasn't worth what I paid for it. Like, to be fair, I was absolutely bladdered, and literally I got up, had my brekkie, and then got a train back. So thankfully the trains weren't cancelled.
Yeah, mine wasn't Bootle, thankfully. It was on the outskirts of Bootle. It was in Netherton, and I'd say we were still in school, so about 14 maybe. And I don't know if you've ever been to the Odeon that's in Netherton. It's just off the M57. And it's like there's an Odeon, it's like a retail place. And we went to see, I can't remember what film it was, all of us together from school. There was about like, I don't know, 12, 13 of us, all of us mates. And we had to get the last bus home. And at this point, what am I talking, like 2002? Not many had a mobile then. Certainly kids wouldn't have a mobile at that point,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And we had to get the bus home. Now, you'd have to walk about, I don't know, it's about half a mile from where the Odeon was to the bus stop to get us back into Bootle, where we all lived. And we walked down the corner. The film finished like really late at about 10, half 10. So we had to walk around, and it was freezing. It was like, it was so dark and all that. We're all standing in front of the bus stop, and it just, the bus weren't coming. We were thinking, is this the last bus? We've missed it and all that. Couldn't obviously ring a taxi. It was really, really quiet around us. And the worst thing about it was that people who will listen to this might actually remember or know what it's called, but there was an estate opposite the bus station. It's called Dodge. for every reason you'd expect. You know, it's still called that now, mate.
Now the Dutch.
You know, it's like watching Shameless, but with knives and guns. Do you know what I mean? That's what it was renowned for, and we had to stand like opposite where that estate started, and this bus just weren't coming at all. It just weren't coming. So someone went to the phone box to ring the dad and say, "Can you pick us up?" And the dad said, "No, fuck off. I'm not picking 15 lads up.
Not going near there."
So everyone took it in turns, ringing people that they knew and all that, and then like as it just went on for the next half an hour, you know, various mums and dads would come and pick theirs up. But it was so scary because where that place was used to be on the Echo all the time.
Yeah.
It was rough as fuck. It was bad. And yeah, that was a nightmare. And that's in Netherton if anyone's thinking about going.
At that age as well, that's the age when you start proper like panicking that you're gonna get filled in. When you're like 12, 13,
yeah, because you feel like, certainly someone the size of me, I'll look like a proper fella when I'm about 14, 15. So it's like you'd reckon if someone like come out of a boozer pissed, they think I reckon I could have that lad off because he's a big fella.
Yeah.
And I'm still only young enough to go home crying to my mum. Do you know what I mean? You're so right about that age, you know, Les. You're so right about that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Were you like that lad in the darts?
But if you hadn't had the scrap at school at that time as well, it was petrifying when you hadn't had the scrap up to that point.
Oh God, yeah. If you sheltered from it, yeah.
That lad in the darts who's blatant. He's just not 16.
There's no way he's 16.
Oh, I saw that last night.
Absolutely not.
Did you see it, Les?
Yeah. There's no way he's 16.
Looked about 35 with 4 kids who are 16 in front of him.
He's definitely an Evertonian, isn't he? He must be an Evertonian. He's aged him that much. Like.
His dad used to play in Walter Smith videos when he was a kid. Donis has said the worst place to be stranded is Coventry. It's just the place you escape from, like some sort of leftover stronghold from The Walking Dead. Never been.
Coventry? No.
Yeah, maybe never will. Festive questions now. We're gonna wrap it up with some festive questions. You can have that one. So Donis has said, what date in December does it become socially acceptable to have pigs in blankets as part of all 3 main meals? I think pigs in blankets should be for life, not just for Christmas, to be honest.
Yeah, hard to argue that, mate. I completely agree. I think I'd have them in the summer. Do you know what? In summer, you have your nice summertime meetings. You go out, you know, nice park or whatever at evening with your family. What's wrong with a bit of pigs in blankets while you're doing that? Sitting there, you know,
exactly.
Watching the dog or cat run around, watching the dog run around the park and all that.
Yeah.
On this subject, I need to you know that I appreciate Maggie's contributions always, and I always will.
Yeah.
But Maggie said something really controversial on Twitter last night, which I think we need to address, and that is that she said that no one should ever have pigs in blankets because they're shit, basically. And I'd like to address this.
She said pigs in blankets should get in the bin.
Well, no, I wouldn't go that far, but I think there's a certain point she makes there, because you can get shit ones.
Yeah, you need the quality ones. Yeah.
Because the bacon on some of them that I've seen and had in the past has been so just full of fat, and there's actually no bacon there.
Oh, it's gonna be crispy. It's gotta be crispy bacon.
Well, I'm not even bothered about the crispiness. I'm just talking about if I could be bothered, or whoever's feeding them to me be bothered, I'd trim the fat off around the side. I'm the same with bacon with anything really. I can't have bacon with fat on it. So you know, you can get those ones. You know what I mean? Like my mum will always end up rolling around to Marks and Spencer. She's not quite as much of a poshie going over to Waitrose, but she will still go to M&S, which obviously do decent quality stuff, and she'll always get them from there. But even there, it's not like bacon without fat. And obviously, I think almost everyone will have bacon with fat in them. But normally, if you cook them or crisp them, it falls off.
Melts,
that's why I get where Maggie's coming from there. I'm pretty sure she doesn't mean exactly what I'm saying, but that's why I'm getting from. We're not going as far as saying that the shite and need binning, but I can see why that certain type might get binned, even though you like them.
Pete, would you like to address Maggie on this then?
I've taken on board what Dave said. To be fair, that is the point that Maggie's making, and it's more about the quality than the actual, you know, than the actual pigs and blankets themselves. If it's purely to do with quality, then I retract my statement.
I don't think it is. We'll pick this up with her.
In which case, get in the bin.
What are you saying on that, Les?
What?
I can imagine over the water you're a bit of a connoisseur for pigs and blankets.
Oh, we only have quality food over here, mate. No cheap shit for us. Yeah. You know that.
Close the barrier to let it out with them.
Yeah, when you say brick up a tunnel, we're actually made up. You think we're not, but we are. Laura said, if you could, take this however you want. If you could unwrap any Everton player on Christmas morning, who would it be and why? Pete, do you want to start? I think I know where you go.
Let's go to Dave first.
Okay. So I think this means the player arrives as a present, not that you like undressed them, which I think is how Keith saw it. So I think the player just arrives as a present. I don't know what you do when you open them, but
well, hang on. The player arrives in wrap.
I think so. Yeah, if you could,
as you get him as a gift. As you get him in, there's any one way I'd be taking that out of the wrapping paper, mate.
Anyone could be in it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's a bike, whether it's a toy, whether it's a human being. I'd still treat it in the same way with some wrapping paper.
Pete, who are you going for?
I think that do you know what? Someone actually replied with a really good answer, and it was Nikichi Yelovich from that Christmas advert. That was the greatest Christmas advert in history. But I would probably swap Nikichi Yelovich for our Lord and Saviour, Mr. Dwight McNeil.
Fair shout. Can't argue that.
Do you know what? Seriously, you're gonna have to get him to get in touch with him. I don't think it's difficult to get in touch with him. Dwight McNeil. And then he'll never want to see it again when you've done it.
We had this before. Maybe don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Maggie's asked us.
I've met him before. I met him in the when he first signed for Everton. We had a supporters club do at Goodison Park, and it was him, Amadou Onana, and Neil Maupay. And
not the most popular
was
trio at the moment.
Do you know what the really annoying thing about that was? Neil Maupay was actually really funny, and he seemed like a really nice fella, and then he obviously just turned out to be a bit of a knobhead.
Gonna say he's got to be good at something, hasn't he?
Maggie's asked a similar question. You get to have any single Everton player since 1878 wrapped under the tree. Who is it? And do you free him or lash him straight in a bin bag?
She must have listened to last week's, maybe this rap and stuff.
I think so, yeah. There's been quite a few. Mine's Nick Barmby, and he's going straight in the bin.
Yes,
not even the recycling bin. He's going in the proper bin.
Les, genuinely, I'm not just saying this. That was genuinely my first thought, Nick Barmby, and it was similar, but it involved a little bit more pain.
Maybe fire or something.
Yeah.
I'd go.
How bad is it that we
on the fire?
Hey, that's mad. Any player
getting in the festive spirit. Who could you have out of anyone? Yeah, meet your heroes now. Nick Barmby. That's it. So I'm doing this Christmas.
Mine's really random here, but Scott Gemmell. I'd wrap him and then I'd throw him out in the rest of the shite.
Would you not go for like?
Bad. I never thought he was that bad, you know.
Scott Gemmell.
Yeah, I thought he was all right.
He just looked like someone someone's nan who got a game of footy.
He didn't look like a footballer.
He did not look like a footballer. I remember he put us top of the league when he scored a goal when we beat
Newcastle 3-0. Oh, put it.
Yeah.
They put us 3-0 at home. And I think it put us
volley that, by the way.
No, I was going to say it put us. No, it was a snide one, but it looks half decent. We won 3-0 and it put us top of the league after 2 games or something. Everyone's like, Scott Gemmell's amazing. Scott Gemmell's amazing. He couldn't run. he looked like a mar off Coronation Street. And I think he's too nice of a guy that you you wouldn't get on well with them. I like someone with a bit of an edge, like you two. So I'd wrap him underneath the tree in a conventional way, though, not my usual horny rap skills.
Only rap skills. That should be the name of your album.
Poundland Ray Parler.
I'm seeing that. Right, I'm going to put these next two together. So Maggie said, favourite Christmas carol with immediate group rendition, please and thank you. And Pete, you said, if you could dedicate a Christmas song to an Everton player, what would it be? And sing it. So I'm going to back away from the sing because you two lads have got a much better.
Oh no! I'm the only one who sung on this show. So you've got to do it, Les. You've got to do it, Les.
I don't
the
have to.
only one is a bit of a stretch, like. I think we should all sing the 12th Dwight of Christmas. Are you ready?
Turn it
on
off.
the 12th, that's right. Wait,
good start.
Always interrupts me. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love said to me, 12, Dwight McNeil's, 11, Dwight McNeil's, 10, Dwight McNeil's, 9, Dwight McNeil's, 8, Dwight McNeil's, 7, Dwight McNeil's, 6, Dwight McNeil's, 5, Dwight McNeil's, 4, Dwight McNeil's, 3, Dwight McNeil's, 2, Dwight McNeil's, and Dwight McNeil.
Into that a lot more than Davis. Look at his face. Just look at his face.
Do you want me to do yours, Dave, as well?
Sing like, King in the Manger or something like that. What we used to do in school.
Right in a manger. Yeah, I know that one.
In the bleak midwinter. In the Dwight midwinter.
See you later.
Dwight McNeil may score. Go on.
I don't know.
Not as hard as iron. Go on. That's in the bleak midwinter.
You don't see it these days. You probably do around your area, Les, but you don't really get carol singers anymore. No, I think it's years ago when people used to knock on your house and sing carols, and like just these days you just probably think they're a gang of pedos and you just want to tell them to go away. But when it used to be nice, like elderly people coming around and you give them a few give them a few what's it called? Weather's original.
Like trick or treaters. Festive trick or treaters.
Yeah.
Someone told me last week because Weather's originals are like traditional sweets, and like the advert you'd always see an old fella giving them to the kid. My mate said known as pedo pellets now.
Pedo pellets. Oh, do you remember that John Lewis advert where that fellow was that much of a nonce they had to put him on the moon?
Yeah, nonce on the moon.
I wasn't in that. You know about the John Lewis advert?
Yeah. And it was like, what did he do that was that bad? He had to go and live on the moon on his own. Like,
with a telescope and nothing else.
With a telescope, yeah. Looking at kids.
Oh, what a Christmas
this is where it's original.
What?
Christmas
has come, Les. Christmas has come with the mailbag when we're talking about me being really horny with wrapping paper and pedos on the moon.
Well, it's only going to get more.
Weeders originals and pedo petals.
We've got about 6 questions here, so let's rip through them because they're all Christmas ones, and we'll be out of date by the next episode. So. Oh no! I'll tell you what. Stephen, I'll save yours because it's not a Christmas one. Laura, Dave, this one's for you. Any good tactics for wrapping presents? I think next year everyone will get books because they're easy. She's fucked it this year by buying awkwardly shaped items, and quite frankly, she's had enough. Dave, any tips?
Yeah. I mean, she's crossed the line there already by saying she's not wrapping stuff up. Because I told you last week that you need patience, but you need nice little glass of wine with you. Gives you a little bit of a tingle. And I was deciding yesterday as well. Although we were saying scissors are realistically not needed because you just need to get on the glide table. You need to get on the glide moon. It's like that fella on a moon. You get your glide on, going on your on your wrapping paper, and he's watching you from the moon.
If anyone could see the scissoring gestures Dave's just done, by the way.
No, it's like this. You don't even have to like. You just what's going on here?
Why have you got balloons going on?
Who's just done that? Who's just done that?
Does that... What was that?
Does it happen if you just do it? Anyway,
anyone listening to the pod there, randomly, Dave just had a load of balloons appear on a screen and we don't know why. Anyway, carry on.
I feel like I'm Neil Buchanan here, but anyway, you get your scissors, right? And this is why Laura needs to do this still to all of her gifts, because you don't have to be a little bit of a. It's not. You don't have to be a masterpiece with this. It takes a little bit of extra time, but what's wrong with that when you enjoy it as much as you do? So like you get your. What am I doing here? So hang on, look, I've got some paper here.
Right. Oh, of course you do.
Right, yeah, here's my paper. Yeah, there's your wrapping paper.
I'm missing opportunity.
There's your wrapping paper.
Yeah.
There's your scissors. You don't need to take too much of an effort. It's just a slight, nice and slow. And just
can I just point out, by the way, for anyone watching, because of the background you've got, it's blurred out as if it's like been. You know when something gets pixeled out because it's not safe for work or something.
What's on that paper?
but everything else is fine. Yeah. But the paper's
like it's some sort of
flagged as inappropriate.
PG porn. But anyway, here you go. Look, I've got my scissors, and then you just need to. Little nip at the edge there, right? Nip at the edge, and then they'll just slide in nice.
There you go.
Like that. And you don't need to have any sort of impact on the scissors any longer, because they'll go wherever you like that.
Slide mode.
What the fucking hell am I doing here?
Laura, I hope that answers your question.
Can I throw out a tip, by the way? Sorry to interrupt, Des.
Go ahead.
A little tip for people who might be struggling with presents: you use other boxes. So, in other words, if you need to get a shape that's easier, it might sound random, but like empty boxes are great. Anything if you can fit that weirdly shaped gift into something else, then do that, and that way you can get nice corners, and it's easier to do. Also, ends up being a bit of more of a surprise when they open it.
There you go. I wonder. Great wrapping tips there. See,
who put them? How did anyone put them balloons on me?
I don't know what happened there. Genuinely.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Honestly, I promise. I swear down. I don't know what happened there. I honestly don't know what happened. It wasn't me.
It was just so like it fit what I was doing so well.
It was only on your screen. Weird. Gary and Stephen have asked the same question basically, and Stephen's kind of answered it. So Gary said, "What's the best Christmas special episode of any TV program?" And Stephen said, "What's your favorite Christmas TV special to watch?" Father Ted's Christmas special takes some beating. I think I watched that. I think it was on last night. No, the night before. It's on Wednesday night. Absolute belter.
Only Fools as well. Only Fools and Horses always had good ones.
Yeah, they did.
I'm not in. I mean, I'm going to broad this wide a little bit, because I can't wait for it, given how it's gone so far, and I think people really need to get into it. EastEnders has been magic in the last few months, right? And I can't wait for the Christmas Day special, and I can't wait for the New Year's Day special, because it's going to go off big time.
But don't people always die on Christmas on EastEnders? I haven't seen it for years, but I always get the impression that it never ends up being happy.
Well, but the worst thing is that there's always someone who gets nicked off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this year, it's very, very ambiguous. You don't know who it's going to be. As in most seasons, most years, you'll know who it's going to be because of a certain way. But there's a wedding going on. There's a woman who's returned. I'm not going to spoil it, because there'll be thousands of our listeners who watch it now. I've said this. I'm only joking. Yeah, EastEnders is my tip, because I really like it these days.
Fair enough.
Doctor Who as well. Doctor Who tends to have
that new one's back as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I add to this question? What's your favourite Christmas film? I think I know the answer to most people, but what's the one you watch on Christmas Eve? Because we love and have like a proper family Christmas Eve night where we'll watch a film and everyone gets in that sort of lovely mood of waking up in the morning.
This goes into Maggie's question, what's your Christmas traditions? So we'll throw that one in here as well.
Yeah. Well, I've asked it.
I'll go National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Never seen it.
It's for me.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, Dave, you've got to watch it. Mate. It's brilliant. It is. It's like, I mean, you probably couldn't get away with a lot of it now, but it is. It's brilliant. It's that's
what kind of porn's this?
It's fancy wrapping paper in it, Dave.
You can't get away.
Something for everyone.
It's the cat and the Christmas tree for me. In that. So funny.
It's the chainsaw, or the bit where it's like, what does he say? He said, "You got a lot of nerve talking to me like that, Griswold." He says, "That's it." He says, "What do you think? What do you think you're doing with that tree, Griswold? Bend over and I'll show you." And the guy's standing there with his wife, and he goes, "You got a lot of nerve speaking to me like that, Griswold." And he goes, "I wasn't talking to you."
Yeah, yours the same, is it, Les?
No, mine's Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh,
I was going to say, ours is conventionally Home Alone 2. We watched the first one last night, but we always save Home Alone 2 for Christmas Eve itself. Can't stand Elf, which I'll get absolute pelters for on that. Cannot stand Elf, think it's shit. And what else what I do like as well, along the same lines as what you were saying with Muppet Christmas Carol, is the Polar Express, which is like
I've never seen
cartoon. That's really good. Tom Hanks plays the train driver, and it's like it's obviously a kids film, but if you're going to enjoy kids TV, you need to get rid of what I've just said there. When you're going to watch young movies, well, I don't know what I'm saying here. Like, when you're watching Christmas films, that's the time to watch the more giddy ones, shall we say?
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm banging into the Hallmark Christmas films. Channel 5 in the afternoon. All the same story with different people, but they're brilliant.
Yeah. Like I was watching one last year where some young woman, like in the mid-20s or whatever, owns a card shop, and some fella walks into the card shop and he's got amnesia for some reason. And they end up falling in love with each other and all that. And then he made the second version of that where the amnesia comes round and he remembers his ex-wife, so it all goes off. So I don't know what the name is. Don't message me if you want it.
I'm trying to find
Scrooge. There's another one.
Oh, Scrooge, there's a belter
with Bill Murray.
Yeah,
I love that film, but again, it's got like so many things in it that you just couldn't get away with now. But
there's so many different Scrooges as well. Loads of different ones over the years.
Yeah, this one Scrooge is Bill. Have you seen it with Bill Murray? And he's like a TV executive, and that one is that one's up there for me as well. I'm trying to think of, there's a few. If you want to get in like Christmassy mode, then Miracle on 34th Street as well. Quite like that one.
Yeah, not a film, but Christmas tradition is definitely watching the Snowman on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah.
Love it. Right, we'll fit. Maggie's quickly asked, how do you cope with fussy eaters at Christmas?
Well, she's explained it, hasn't she, with the pig in blankets?
Yeah.
I don't invite them. I don't invite them round. That's what happens.
I don't invite them round.
And we'll finish up with sort of two from Laura. So what do you have for breakfast on Christmas Day? And in a similar vein, what's the earliest acceptable time to crack open the bubbly on Christmas Day? So Ryan said there's only one correct answer to this. First light, breakfast, beers, or boss. And Laura said champagne bed as soon as she's out of bed. So Christmas Day breakfast, what are you having?
It's just a standard brekkie, isn't it? Like what you'd have. I'll have it bacon butty, something like that. Tomatoes, go full English. One that sets you up for the day, because we don't have our Christmas dinner until around 4ish. So if you're getting up really early, and I do generally, because I'm like a little baby, me, I'll get up at like 5, 6 in the morning. What Ryan's saying, when it goes light, I'm thinking, well, if it goes light over here, it's still about 10 o'clock, but he's talking about it going light at where he is. It's probably about 3 o'clock in the morning where he lives nowadays. Yeah, but I love the day of it itself. I love Christmas itself. It's nowhere near as good as when you were a kid. I don't think anybody can acceptably say that. because you're not all giddy looking under the tree thinking, what's
Yeah.
that, what's that, what's that? Although I am, given the way it's been wrapped. But but that day, yeah, I get up, and also it was the time a question as well. What time or what time
Sometimes
you drink?
acceptable to crack open the bubbly or the beers, whatever.
I was going to say not bubbly. I'm not really a bubbly fan. I still have a couple later on in the day, but I love Aussie Whites. If anyone hasn't had Aussie Whites, then you haven't lived. Aussie Whites are just really nice. And there was a piece again in the Echo that said bars and pubs in Liverpool have got rid of them, and I was outraged. I haven't found it anywhere, by the way, shop wise. I'm going to Costco today to try and find it. Have you had any of it?
I haven't seen it for years.
Oh mate, they're gorgeous. It's really sweet, but it's so nice, and it's got high alcohol in it.
That was a
But it's-
staple of the 80s wine lodge, I think, the Aussie White.
Yeah.
Years
That's
ago.
right, yeah. And even they don't do it. Even they don't do it now. So I know if Matt Jones is on here, he loves his whiskey. So I know he's probably on that already for Christmas Day. But yeah, I think it's fair if you want to like it. What do they call it? Like a posh lunch, posh breakfast. If you have a little bit of bubbly with your breakfast,
Yeah.
I think that's a nice one. It certainly wouldn't be anything to do with champagne, no.
Yeah, I like a bit of a poncy one. I don't have a Bucks Fizz because why would you not add orange to it?
Oh, that's
Always
a
a bit
staple,
weird, but it's quite
isn't it?
nice.
Yeah,
And then salmon and poached eggs or something. Poncy
Yeah.
like that.
that is Will.
Daddy Whittle in it, yeah.
Mosey will be having that.
Oh, you will be having this with gold leaf and stuff though as well.
Yeah.
Pete, round us off. What you're having for brekkie?
Yeah, well, as a non-drinker,
Yeah.
mine would be a bit more like orange juice and that sort of thing. But yeah, mainly chocolate. I've got a thing about because I always get like a little bit of chocolate in me, in my Christmas stocking. So I'll be eating chocolate for breakfast. It's the one day a year you can get away with it.
That not spoil your day off. That not spoil your day off with your food and that.
We don't eat till late, so me like
Right.
go to my mum's. We don't normally tend to have our proper Christmas dinner until like 6 o'clock. So, yeah, chocolate for breakfast it is.
Just a quick
There you
one
go.
before we finish. We're actually going out for Christmas dinner, which we've started doing. We went to
Make sure you
Toby.
tip well.
Yeah, not tipping anything. I certainly didn't tip anything when we went to Toby Carvery a couple of years ago, and it was outrageously poor. Just because every single person in the local area is in there, and everyone's been in there, haven't they? Where you're in a queue to pick what you want, but you can get as much as you want. But the stuff you can get as much as you want off is pure shite. And that's you find that in most places where it's all you can eat, don't you? It's that's what you're sacrificing, aren't you, for paying it so cheap, and it's called all you can eat. So yeah, and this year we're going to my sister-in-law. Her boyfriend is part owner. There's a lot of people may have heard this. It's called Othello's. It's a Greek restaurant.
Oh yeah, in Gatsca.
It's not far from you. Yeah, in
Gatsca, yeah. What's that?
Yeah, it's a Greek restaurant, but they turn it English with with the roast and all that stuff. So we're going there this year. And because he owns most of it, he's serving it and all that, so it should be really nice. But it will be weird getting out of the house. But because there's only me, Haley, and my mum, that's why we're doing it really, because it's not one of them things we bring like 50 odd people around and all that. And then obviously it's nice because the house is nice and clean when we get home. You're not cleaning up bags of shit. You know what I mean?
Washing up to do. That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right.
Right. Well, whatever you're doing at Christmas, enjoy it. Hope everyone has a belter. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Pete. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in this week. If we didn't get to them, we'll get to them next time. Thanks to everyone who's interacted with the show over the last year. We will be back next week with the Royal Rumble. I'll sort that out in the week. But yeah, have a wonderful Christmas, everyone, and up those festive toffees.